Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 6th anniversary spectacular of the Infamous Gentleman. So, what we're going to do here is a run-through of our greatest, well, not even our greatest series of all time, all of our series. So, with me, as you can probably hear, with me is...
The Sprite, hello.
The boy, hello.
And the dragon.
We're all not physically in the same place, so...
Or indeed in the same country.
Yeah, that's the making this equally awkward as the boy's currently in the US, so...
Hello, US friends, I'm here with you.
Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to go backwards through... I've using statistics, I've ranked all of our videos from all of our series, not videos, our multiplayer series from worst to best, and we're going to go through them and discuss them. That was awful.
Clearly you're better at stats than you are at talking.
Yes, quite. So we'll get launched straight into it. This one is appropriate because a sequel to this game came out about a week ago. In 43rd out of 43 is Crackdown. Do you remember this one, boy?
This was a classic. I was disappointed that this series didn't get the kudos that I felt it deserved. Although on review, Crackdown was, well, our recording quality was not
awful. Awful.
No, it was awful.
Basically, the recording was so shit because at this point I didn't know how to record commentary and video separately. So I set the microphone as the input for my capture card, and so the capture card recorded the video plus the microphone's audio, which heard the game audio because that was playing out of the speakers on my TV.
That does explain a lot.
So it sounds like shit.
So listening back, I was convinced that I was like speaking through a mouthful of sand because everything is just so gravelly and.
Do you remember the old microphone that looked like a weird anal probe?
I do remember
as
the
opposed to these
No,
ones.
was this the, like...
No, it was like a silver plate with like a shaft coming out of it that like looked like it was leering at you like some kind of weird creature. But yes, Crackdown in total came in 30th out of 43 for audience retention, so how much people watched it when they actually watched it, and dead last for number of views.
Oh, that's so sad.
And unfortunately, yeah, it was a fun one, but looking back, it was
A learning experience, right?
I mean, yeah, of course. Recording quality aside, we had some fun games. You know, we had the thing where you fire your cars across with a ramp truck.
Ah, yes.
Oh,
We had Hide and Go Boom, which was one of my favourite ones, where you had to hide from someone who was trying to find you while they were driving a high-speed car that was covered in explosives, and all they had to do was find you and explode next to you and kill you. But a lot of the scoring of the games and stuff like that was quite arbitrary, and it was important for me because I learned a lot of editing during that one. But looking back, it's so slow and clunky, all the editing and the visualizers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I remember editing that one because I was editing it on my laptop. This was before I even had a desktop PC. It was all done through my laptop. And I was editing it. I just moved into my new flat in Glasgow, and I wasn't allowed in my bedroom because there was damp in there, and they were in the process of reconstructing one of the walls. So the majority of Crackdown I edited on a laptop, sitting in my bed, which at that time just sat in the middle of the living room because we didn't know where else to put me. And the vast majority of Crackdown was edited with that, with one headphone in, whilst me and my flatmate watched the majority of seasons 2 and 3 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Spectacular memory you got there.
That sounds like a Dickensian story right there.
Yeah,
you accused me of being a Dickens.
We've come a long way since then, I think, gentlemen.
You now own a bedroom.
Yes, well, I mean, I'm still renting, but you know what I mean.
You actually have the rights to a bedroom.
Yes.
You're renting a bedroom rather than a living room with a bed.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
So, number 42 is once again an entry from Just Me and the Boy from the early days. This is the original Pokemon vs. Fire Red and Leaf Green. Scoring 29th for retention and 41st for views.
So,
Am I right in saying that this was one of the first ones you ever did?
this was the first.
This video,
Wow.
this video is going up on the 6th anniversary of that first video going up, which I consider the genesis of the gentleman.
Okay, yeah.
This has a special place in my heart, being that it is the birth of something bigger than itself.
Yeah, well, it was where it all started.
Yeah, and the recording quality aside, which again is, you know, as would be expected of the beginning of something that is a learning process in itself, I think it was quite good.
you remember how we used to sync our audio with our video? Well, our audio
Yeah.
with each other, actually, boy.
Going 3, 2, 1. That was good.
And we hoped that we'd go loud enough, it would each pick up on the other's recording, and we could sync it that way.
So
Did it?
another great tradition was born.
Yeah,
Wow.
the editing workflow is one of the most hideous things ever, because I look back at my notes for it. It's to check for this video. It was edited between a series of After Effects, Premiere Pro, and Movie Maker.
Movie Maker, Jesus,
Yeah.
that's archaic.
Oh yeah, because I didn't know. I knew I needed to use Premiere Pro, but didn't know how to, so I did it all. A lot of it in Movie Maker. I'd go through. So the first thing I'd do is I'd put our audio together, and I'd listen through our audio without video, and I would mark whenever we said something which is clearly relevant, referring to something that's happening on our videos. I would then go through the videos and mark all of those points on the video, and then line up the two, because we had really bad sync issues because of how emulators record video. And so I just made sure that every point where we reference the video lines up with that same point in the video, but it was so time consuming.
That was a mess. It was an editorial mess, but some fun gameplay. And it was close
Yes.
as well.
It was bloody close. I'm still
Yeah.
stunned by that. This was 36 episodes in total, and we both finished within about 10 minutes of each other.
Yeah. You guys got through that so quickly as well. I was quite impressed.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean-
not a full speed run, but like.
So I had, I don't know if I even mentioned this on the thing, but I had edited the game to be easier. I leveled down gym leaders and significant boss fights.
Okay. Oh, sneaky.
Also, to
I
be fair,
forget
you two do everything within a pube's breadth of each other.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Aladdin is currently airing at the moment, and that was bloody close in the end.
That
We were never
wasn't
more than about
incredible.
We were never more than about 10 minutes apart from one another. So, next, it's time for some of the other gentlemen to get a chance in the spotlight.
Yay.
Sprite, tell me, at number 41, do you remember Lego Marvel Superheroes?
I would love to say I remember that. Honestly,
Likewise.
was I drinking?
No, we only recorded 4 episodes of it. We just played like the first 2 hours of the game.
Was that in the Infamous Towers?
Yes, it was in the Infamous Towers. It was
See-
just you and I, and we just played through the co-op on it. Actually, it didn't do fairly bad for retention. It came in with 15th in retention out of 43, which is not bad.
That's good.
But then 42nd for views.
42.
So yes, people who watched it clearly did enjoy it, but not many people watched it at all.
I've always been intrigued by those games. They are great.
Some of the
fun,
Lego
like,
games are
haven't
good.
played, but, like,
Some are really good.
Yeah.
They're quite hit and miss, I feel.
Sorry, I love Lego Batman. I absolutely love it. I could play it for hours. Couldn't get into Indiana
The
Jones.
one I first got into it with was Lego Star Wars,
Yeah, likewise.
and I think those are really good.
Lego Star Wars works so well.
One of the things they've done recently, so the Marvel Superheroes does it, and the Lord of the Rings one does it, is they have voices. And I think that honestly does ruin a bit. Like, one of the things I really loved about the Lego games is the fact that everyone just talks like meh, 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 and
Yes.
like, has to
Yeah.
communicate like key plot points of Star Wars to do like visual gags and stuff like that, and that I think worked really
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Lord of the Rings, well, the Lord of the Rings one particularly annoyed me because they were
you hate
they
shit
were all
humor?
no, because they were all voice clips from the films, but
Oh, so it was like
but loads of it was cut out, and we're in not the right order and stuff like that, so it was really weird for that reason.
I
that's
see,
pretty
I get you.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
It's the old
Yeah,
book
but-
versus film versus video game.
Yeah, versus Lego video game.
This is
Let's
Lego
not-
equivalent.
Moving up to number 40 is one of those strange videos that does not feature me.
Oh.
Number 40 is Chroma Gun.
Chroma Gun,
Yeah, so this
yes.
was the Boy and Eyes series.
I do remember Chroma Gun. Chroma Gun was a lot of
Yeah.
fun, wasn't it, Dragon?
Yeah. I'm sad this is so far down because it's such a great concept for a game, and it's such pure like puzzle going happiness. It's like, apart from the ending, suddenly gets really dark. It's just like,
Yeah.
It's basically like Portal with more colors.
Yeah,
And then-
it's
and then at
off-brand.
the ending,
It's off-brand
like-
Portal, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I quite enjoyed it because it was off-brand Portal.
You
But
were
I
in
felt
the
really
few
unwell.
episodes of that, weren't you, Sprite?
So
But-
I was watching
Yeah.
and I started to feel really dizzy and unwell, and I went to lie down.
Well, I don't know who remembers the timing of that particularly, but it was incredibly hot.
Yeah.
And this was when we were in the Infamous Towers, which was my fancy high-rise apartment that had only a window that could just be cracked open, and it was so warm. So I was there, but I was really ill. I was like, occasionally, like, you can actually... In some of the videos, I had to cut out the audio of me vomiting. You can hear it through the walls, which is pretty rough. So I was there for all of it, but I was drifting in and out of consciousness, and it was really weird to edit it because there are bits where I remember hearing it. And then the sprite was also there, but yeah, I was ill anyway. It was really hot and uncomfortable. The audio quality is not great on that because we had 2 fans on full blast.
It
which
was
then
the
had to
only
be
way to survive.
Yeah, which then had to be noise removed. But it was a fun game and it was cool. It was cool to watch. I actually still haven't finished airing it.
Oh, really?
I go back to it when we've got a slot with nothing else.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, so viewers haven't seen the ending yet.
No.
That's very exciting.
Is everything to play for yet, viewers?
Yeah. All the time.
Get watching it and we'll finish it off.
Yeah, we can bring that retention up to full now. You guys have missed out.
Yeah.
Its retention is not bad, 27th for retention, but its views are 40.
Okay. Well, let's
Probably
watch.
'cause
Let's
it's
watch
so
for that.
obscure, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Next, we get on to one. So this one was the 3 of us, and it was recorded in the Dragon's old basement flat that flooded. Who can remember what this was?
Like
it was golf. It was
not golf.
Description.
That's further.
was it not?
That's further up. No.
Ooh.
Think physics, engineering.
Oh, bridge.
Oh,
is
the
this the
bridge
bridge?
thing.
There we go. In 39th
Bridget.
was Bridget Plus.
Yes, yeah. I can understand why that might have not gotten views in that it's like the concept is very specific, but I love that game.
It had to be very heavily edited. There was a lot of cutting to actually make it down to reasonable episode length. And I think I still have again about an hour or 2 of that footage, which hasn't ever seen the light of day.
Right, okay, yeah. It's one of those games that I remember just getting surprisingly passionate about.
Yeah,
we
we
were just getting really angry, like, that's not how physics works.
Yeah, you were annoyed because while the game's physics engine was internally consistent, it didn't have a huge deal in common with, like, structural engineering in real life, which is...
That would have driven me
I was so
insane.
angry.
And that was kind of, your academic background at that point as well, was engineering,
yeah.
so...
You don't need to have
I
an
was
academic
just-
background to be bothered by that.
True.
I have a building background, it would bother me.
Fair. So next, coming in at 39, once again, a non-sprite includey project, Halo 4 custom games.
Yes.
No! Wait, Halo 4, okay. I don't remember too much of this.
I remember bits and pieces. We played some of the old school... So, for the viewers' perspective, we used to play a lot of these custom games in Halo 3 back in the day. And we sort of like transferred them across to Halo 4 and had a go, and it just wasn't the same.
See, right,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff going on with that project. Number one is the fact that, due to a drive failure, I lost about 2 hours of the footage from that. So that's why there's only 5 episodes of it up to this day, and there will never be more. I still have the footage on my Xbox, like, in theatre mode that I can re-record, but I've got nothing to sync it with the audio, so it could be a huge nightmare. And I haven't been bothered to do it because it didn't do that well. Came in at 42nd for retention, and 24 for views, which is not terrible, but about halfway, basically.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, it's got some bloody fantastic moments in it. It's not great overall, but it's got, like, for example, Dragon, you make the most incredible shot I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
You're trying to shoot at the boy, he moves out of the way, and this is how I actually learned something about Halo 4. The binary rifle, you know that sniper that kills in one?
Yeah.
If you hit one of those shots at a wall at a shallow enough angle, it bounces off.
About, yeah.
And you missed the boy, bounced off the wall, and got me right in the mouth. And we didn't really notice at the time what went on, but I spent ages looking at that replay in like slow motion. I'll put that footage up because it's incredible. You could not make that shot if you were trying.
That's glorious.
How do you
And I
know he wasn't?
was furious at you for it at the time. So there's wonderful bit. Do you remember you have the assassination animations in that? There's one of that where I did that to you and came up behind you, and like whenever my guy stabs you, I'm going like, "Grr, take that!" And I'm getting very, very emphatic.
Yeah. Oh, what a game.
Yeah. Love Halo.
It just didn't have the maps, I think, was the issue. Like,
No, Halo 4's a bit of
the
a,
Halo 4
I don't
maps
know, yeah.
ne'er-do-well as Halo games go.
Next up, in 37th, a Doctor and Boy outing, filmed in multiple locations and with multiple control devices.
That sounds very kinky.
Any ideas, anyone?
Multiple control devices.
Well, we played it with a keyboard and mouse, and we played it with a dance pad.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, I do know this. And yes, Crypt of the Necrodancer. What an excellent game. I think that game, maybe it doesn't deserve to be... It's a small game, but I love that
19th
game.
for views, so above average for views,
Okay.
but 41st out of 43 for retention.
Oh.
Maybe that's the dance mat
That's so sad.
doing its thing. Maybe people don't
Well,
want
we
to see
broke-
us dancing.
We broke the
so this
dance
was the
mat.
one where the Doctor broke the dance mat. Yeah, I remember this very well.
We were just
Stands
too
on it with,
enthusiastic.
like, high heels.
It didn't help that I wasn't very good at that game at that point. Dance pad aside, I just hadn't played it a lot, so I was bad at both controlling it and just like understanding how the game works because it was fairly early on at that point.
What
It
you should
takes
do
getting
is
used
get
to,
another
for sure.
dance mat.
Yeah, but dance mats are expensive.
So?
Wait, the cheap dance mats do not work, as we found out the
They
hard
don't
way.
work. They don't like being stamped on, apparently. Which is
That is what
somewhat
you
the
do with a
point.
dance
the
mat.
element of a dance mat.
You'd
yeah,
think so,
exactly.
wouldn't you? Yeah.
Step delicately like a ballerina.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and they're
me.
designed for like 15-year-old or like 13-year-old girls to
Yeah.
play their.
Boy,
Well,
you
I
are
know.
not much
Oh,
heavier
boys.
than a 15-year-old girl.
And let's
That
be
is
honest,
true.
15-year-old girls can fucking stomp.
Yeah, that is also
That.
true.
It's true. But yeah, the game itself is also not a delicate game as well.
No.
No.
And I don't know how good of a game it is. I suppose if you're really good at it, it's probably a good game to watch and see done well. But I think if you're watching people who aren't very good at it, it's probably not great to watch. Which is why views are high but retention is low.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, so I'm really bad at this game, so I've mainly enjoyed it as a spectator rather than a player. And what I've always found is it's very hard to appreciate just how difficult it is.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you see someone doing it well, it just looks like they're like just doing stuff along to the beat, like no problem. But actually getting it in time with the beat is really difficult.
Yeah,
and
I
then
agree.
understanding all the special moves and stuff, like yeah, it's a non-trivial game, definitely. It's,
Yeah.
See, I don't have a problem with the stepping with the beat, but I definitely don't do well with fighting in that kind of style. The little that I've tried it.
And it's you do have to. It takes a lot of brain power because you have to be constantly like doing something. You can't. There's no time. There's no downtime in it, which makes it quite
Yeah.
intense. Actually, it's good fun though. It's like so I've got it on the Switch now, and it's fantastic to just crack out on the Switch.
I imagine it works well on Switch.
Well, because all you need is you've got like the 4 direction buttons and then A, and that's it. So you can just crack it out and just give like 2 because you can do co-op with a Joy-Con each, and it's a brilliant thing to just
cool.
quickly break out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
We've definitely done
Boy,
that
were
before.
you saying you've got better at it?
Well, I think so, but then maybe not. I play it consistently just when I've got like 5 or 10 minutes to do something in my spare time.
It's quite a good game because it's kind of repetitive in that way. It's a good game to just quickly hop into, actually.
Yeah, it fits in the gaps
imagine.
pretty well, and also it's just a great game. It's just
Soundtrack
so well
is
designed,
fantastic.
phenomenal soundtrack. Gameplay is really good.
A shame
And-
the viewers didn't like it.
The viewers have spoken, but then I can see it's not necessarily a spectator sport.
No,
As
perhaps
Dragon
not.
says, you can't appreciate how talented we really are, Doctor. That's really the problem
yeah, that's
here.
definitely what
Yeah,
I was
that's the
getting
issue. You're right, you nailed it.
at.
That's what I heard the Dragon say.
Yeah.
So, coming in next at number 36. The first series of videos to ever star the dragon. What were they?
Oh, I can't remember. Oh, no, I do know. So this was Nuzlocke, right?
Correct!
So Project Egg Beater,
I believe that's what we called it, yes.
Yeah.
For some
That was,
reason,
that was the final project for which we generated project names using a random word generator.
Okay. They all
Egg
have-
Beater it was.
It's sad, yeah. I'm sad that the project names aren't as visible.
No, I mean, no, that one.
It's a fun one.
It's very visible in that. I'll put footage up now. It's
That one is, yeah.
It's a gigantic, like, 3D opening text scene because I was learning how to use After Effects. I'm very excited.
yeah. But yeah, I was having nostalgia about this series. Like I really, I mean, as also it was the first one that I did, but it was such a beautiful concept. Like, I mean, it was horrifying, like heartbreaking when
It
your
did,
like
yeah.
favorite Pokemon dies.
Not just died,
Well,
got
yeah,
assassinated.
Literally dies. Yeah, is murdered brutally.
It'd be a fun one to return to. I liked the concept, but it just didn't do very well. 24th for retention and 36th for views. So not bad retention.
it did better than I expected. Actually, I would have.
Yeah, I thought that one would have done much worse than the original Versus, but it didn't. It was better. Almost everything we've done was better than the original Versus, apparently. But
Yeah.
next up, a series which I am still sitting on a shit ton of footage for this, which has never made it out. Heroes of Might and Magic 5.
Yes.
Scoring in 28th for retention and 32nd for views.
This is an interesting one. It's a
Yeah, no, I was
great
so
game.
angry about this game.
Angry why?
I just remember having a horrible time with it. I did something really stupid, I think. I remember attacking something that I shouldn't have attacked.
You were trying to work out to
brutally murder it.
Yeah, and then you were trying to work out how to like build something or get something, and you couldn't. You needed ore. You needed ore. That was it. You were like desperately trying to find an ore mine, and there was one about 20 feet away from your base, and you didn't realize for like 7 episodes.
It's just I've never been more angry about the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great game. I think it's definitely worth playing. But yeah, I was so annoyed.
Yeah, that's also on the list with Chroma Gun of stuff I'll upload when I have like Dead Space. Because I've literally got. Well, I can bloody look it up now, can't I? How much of that I'm sitting on.
Personally, it really bothers me because I really enjoyed it, and we just got to the part where it was getting interesting. We were starting to challenge one another, or at least be in a position to do something. We were out of the
Slow
Bambi
start.
walking stage.
Yeah, but I think the issue is what's up on YouTube at the moment is the slow start, and it's done ass. So the motivation to
it
get
just
more.
kind of upset me.
Yeah, and I honestly
respect.
don't. If we were ever to, we didn't finish the game, and if we were ever to continue it, I've moved computers twice since that, and I don't know if the save file came with me. Hopefully it has. But yeah, I'm currently sitting on 3 hours and 4 minutes of footage for that. Wow. Which has not hit YouTube yet. So,
but honestly, if we've managed to make the dragon angry, I'm personally like astounded.
Yeah.
I can't even picture what that's like.
Good angry. I was very much enjoying it. It's a great game. But
good for content. Yes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Coming up next in 34th is the biggest project we've ever done in terms of how long it was and how much of it was cut out. Boy, what was it?
It's got to be Space Engineers, surely.
Nope, in terms of how much was... No, it's even not that much. This is cut out more than Space Engineers. This was Halo 3 Mythic difficulty.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That video.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember when we recorded that, boy?
I remember that was when Jeremy Corbyn became leader of the Labour Party. That is our timestamp there.
September 2015, and it finished airing about 3 weeks ago. Because, yes, we recorded 8 hours of this footage. The deal was if you have all the skulls on, so the main thing that made it difficult is if one of you it's really hard, and if one of you dies, you both immediately go back to the same checkpoint. It took us 8 hours and edited down to 10 20-minute episodes, which I'm quite pleased with. Some of them were the most heavily edited episode was 2 hours of footage went down to 20 minutes.
I think it had to be edited down. It would have been terrible viewing if not, but I think it's worked really well.
It's a wonderful study into the mind of an insane person. Like we are losing it at the end.
Well, it was the whole game, was it?
No, it was just one level. I'm not kidding you. It was fucking difficult. I almost want to do more of it because
I enjoyed it. I mean, it was it was a mission, but it was a good mission.
It was so satisfying when you did it, though.
Yeah,
like when you actually.
I can't imagine your reaction when you finished.
When you were, even just like when you get past the bit you're on and you get a checkpoint. It's so satisfying. Coming up next in 33rd, this series does very well for retention, but awfully for views. Boy, what Pokemon series haven't I mentioned yet?
That is a good question.
Pokemon Ruby Sapphire.
Correct! Sprite somehow knows that despite knowing shit all about Pokemon and having never watched that series, I suspect. But yes, this was Pokemon vs. Ruby and Sapphire.
I have watched that series.
We did that 3 years ago.
That'd be why. That will be why.
It's an old one. Not as old as the original Versus, but yes. That was 37th overall for views, but 14th for retention, so quite good.
That is not bad.
Good.
Viewers, you seem to enjoy watching.
Well, right?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was fun, but I always find the Pokemon Versus is fun to record and edit and everything, so...
Yeah, they're always good fun to record. I don't know about watching. I tend to record them and then watch it.
And you dump them on me to edit, and then you never see the bloody things again. Yeah. Do you remember the ending of that one, boy?
I remember it being extremely close again.
Well, specifically, it was extremely close. You won, but my footage was lost.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
So we had to record the final episode again. Unfortunately, you won a second time.
It could have been nasty if that hadn't materialised.
But we were quite close.
That's the doctor trying to re-roll the dice, be like, no, please win this time, please.
Yeah, basically. Well, no, I
we
was
both deliberately 4, weren't we?
Yeah, and I honestly kind of was trying to... I didn't want to say... I want to say I was making sure I was losing, but the fact is I already felt like I had lost that series, so I wasn't trying super hard to win because the way that the save point at the beginning of that episode was, you were pretty much poised to win and I was poised to lose, and I didn't try too hard because I knew I'd technically already lost, but...
Yeah, you didn't try too
So
hard,
still
that's the
close,
reason,
though.
Doctor.
And what's also interesting is that you guys didn't know a lot of the time where the other person
Well,
was.
no, yeah, because we didn't have, you were in another city for most of it. You were in London and I was in Glasgow, so we couldn't see one another's screens.
Oh yeah, we lied to each other horribly for lots of that.
There was some real...
deceit.
Yeah, like you were telling me you were stuck on a gym leader for a while. Turns out you weren't.
I was racing
Lying
ahead.
to me, and you were just miles ahead of me because you were a piece of shit. Actually, I'm still mad about that. Fuck you. Well, I love how we're all just remembering grievances. Dragon remembers hating...
I know, this is bringing all that.
Oh, don't worry. There's stuff I know the boy is still salty about, which is upcoming.
No, I don't doubt it.
Excellent.
I know what
I
that
have
is.
plenty of salt in the salt bin here,
Oh,
don't
think
worry.
about that phrasing there, boy.
Coming up next at number 32, a video which has scored very interestingly, 10th for retention, our highest so far, but 38th for views. You and me, Sprite. What was one of the first things we did?
Plants vs. Zombies.
Before that?
Peggle.
Before that?
Completely blank face, I have.
What's one of your
no
favourite
idea.
games?
What's one of my favourite games? Prince of Persia. Lara Croft. 7 Days to Die.
That we've played.
7 Days to Die?
Yep. Literally the first thing we did.
Deep sigh.
I'm different.
Oh, Portal!
Yep,
Yeah,
Portal
I
2
love Portal.
specifically, yep. Very high retention,
That's quite good.
which I suspect is because you've watched it several times, entirely all the way through and inflated those figures.
I don't think so.
You've definitely watched it with your nieces and nephews and stuff like that, and they've watched it. And I think
Ironically,
no,
I was like, nephew, you want to watch this one? This is fab. He's put it on, but actually he doesn't watch our stuff that much.
I assume you're anonymizing there. You don't actually just call him nephew to his face.
I just saw them recently, and
Son
sometimes
of mine.
I'm just like, nephews, nieces, children,
Yeah.
beasts.
Because there's still bloody many of them. There's 6 of them. Like sometimes you're like, oh, we're heading out. Can a child grab the dog, please? And you just
Yeah.
say, doing it from the
Sort of
back.
numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
You
easier.
4, grab the dog.
Yeah, I thought Portal was... well, I'd never played through the entirety of Portal 2's co-op at that point. I thought that was quite a fun one to record.
Well, I do love Portal, you're right.
So much that you completely forgot about it.
It's because I was stuck on Plants vs. Zombies. My brain was like, that's the first thing we did. And I couldn't think anything
Plants
else.
vs. Zombies is much higher up this list, though.
Yay.
But I mean, I can see why Portal has such a good retention because it's it's a fun game to watch people
Yeah.
play anyway.
I
It's got
interpret
quite a level
that balance of
frustration.
views to retention versus if people were going to watch it, they really watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is quite an achievement, right? Because it's quite a well-known game.
Yeah.
So it could easily be one of these ones that got like tons of views but no retention.
I mean, generally, this is
So
how
the fact- yeah.
this is how the gentlemen work, though. We tend to get very high retention, and our fans tend to be loyal and watch a lot of our stuff. We just don't spread that far. We don't go viral. We do have some videos which have definitely gone much more viral, and they are much obviously more towards the top of this list. And it's interesting seeing that, and we'll discuss that more when we get to the top.
Yeah.
Some
Well,
of the
we have
ones,
you to thank.
some of the ones in the top
Friendly
5.
hands.
So in the top 5, we have videos which are first, second, and third for views, but 35th, 36th, and 38th for retention.
Oh wow. Okay,
So they're your
yeah.
viral kind of ones that people are just like
Yeah.
watching a bit, and but they're that's for considerably later. Might split this into 2 parts. Who knows?
Well,
Coming up
I'm a fan
next-
of the slow burners.
Yeah, true. Coming up next is a series which no one else other than me was in, but you may have watched. This was Depth, and this was part of an initiative called the Round Table, which would involve members of the Gentlemen collaborating with other YouTube channels, and we kind of do a thing where we all play the game, but then specifically to the other channels all record their own stuff as well, sent it to me, and we all edit it together. Unfortunately, only one of them ever got done, and then just communication broke down. Actually, there was another one. We did Guns of Icarus as well, but we lost the footage for that entirely.
No.
Well, I say we, I mean I.
And whose fault is that?
Yes, but Depth was good fun. Scary as anything, and I'm extremely jumpy
it
in
looks
that game.
terrifying.
I love watching you
Yeah,
play
yeah.
scary games. You're so funny.
Have you seen Depth, Sprite?
I have not, actually.
So basically, it's asymmetrical multiplayer. So with 4 of us, 3 players play as humans, and you're like in a first person in a diving suit, and you've got to basically go and gather as much treasure as possible and bring it back to like a start point, and you keep doing that. The other player plays as a shark. The shark has got a much more zoomed out camera view, they've got special sensors so they can see everything, and the shark just needs to fuck up the divers. So from the divers you've got this really claustrophobic narrow view, and the shark you can just see like everything using like your electrical sensors and stuff.
I'm getting nervous just hearing about this. This sounds scary.
You can't really see the shark. All you really know is you can hear your heartbeat, and your heartbeat gets louder and faster the closer the shark is to you.
Oh, Jesus.
It's horrifying. I love it.
Especially as it can just like burst through the walls and stuff, right? It's got good destructible terrain, so you can just like, you'll just be like going after some treasure, and then suddenly a shark just comes in through the window.
It's really good fun.
Smashes through and just
And it was cool to do that. It was cool to do that kind of collaboration. I'd actually really like to fire that kind of thing up again at some point.
It's a nice idea.
Need to hit the old contacts again.
Yeah, get in touch, viewers. If your YouTube channel you want to collaborate, let us know.
I'm hoping to get in contact with a YouTuber that I know.
Yeah.
And get them involved in something that I'm working on, but I haven't edited yet because it's big and scary.
Yes, I think I know what you're referring to. That'll be kept under wraps for a while. Ooh. Sticking with the scary theme at the moment, in number 30, scoring 11th for retention, but 35th for views, another Doctor and Sprite classic.
This has to be Dead Space, is that right?
It was Dead Space, correct.
Oh yeah, Dead Space.
I love that game so much. I mean, it is terrifying.
All I've played of that game is I played a bit of Dead Space 2, I think with you at one point, Boy, not on the channel, and then I played what's out there, but you've played quite a lot of it, Boy, and you have as well, haven't you, Sprite?
Well, I've watched it. Yeah. I've never played it. I'm one of those freaks who likes to watch other people play games.
Most of the people who are going to be watching this video would also probably fall into that category. So.
Fair, actually, yeah.
Let's not alienate our families too much.
So, sorry, freaks.
Okay, everyone calls me a freak, because pretty much all the time I would rather watch someone than play it myself. It's very rare that I want to get involved.
I also think that Dead Space is one of those games that is really good for that, because it's quite cinematic, it's... there's no HUD. I think,
and I can't play more than a couple of hours of that game before I just need to go down and take a break.
Watch a Disney film
in a well-lit room.
We specifically had a spooky setup for that. So like the only light in the room was the monitor and the faint glow from my keyboard, and it was I was real jumpy.
Oh, that game does that to you though. It is.
Yeah, we never finished that. We could go back and do some more at some point. I don't know.
I would love to, but viewer retention says no.
Viewer retention is good, 11th out of 43.
Okay.
Views is the bad one there.
I would finish it.
Yeah. For the next one, we're actually
I will watch it.
We're actually going to invert it. This is one which does very well on views. 10th, but only 40th in retention. Starring us three, and I believe also starring the Penguin, Speedrunners.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I love that
game. I really like that game. Yeah, it's great. It's one of those ones that it just makes you feel so good about yourself. Like, once you start getting... You don't even have to be that good, but you feel like you are so good at it by the end.
Drakken, you're good at many games. Just often not ones that we play.
Just not 7 Days to Die.
Hey,
do you know what? I've been playing 7 Days to Die with someone who is so like you. He ate glass because he was hungry.
Why does the game even let you do that? Why is that an option?
That's what he said. My question is,
thing.
why did he think, I'm hungry and there's broken glass in my hand. I'll try eating it and see if it ends well for me.
But yes, Speedrunners was honestly what Ultimate Chicken Horse kind of reminded me of.
Yes.
And I really liked both. Because Speedrunners, for those who aren't familiar, you've just got to... You're in like a kind of circular 2D platforming arena, and you've just got to kind of keep going round... And eventually the screen closes in. If you fall off the edge of the screen, you're dead. And the screen moves at the pace of the fastest player. Last man standing wins.
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's really easy
It was very dynamic. You could like slide and grapple and stuff like that. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, it's lots of sliding, lots of like wall jumping and stuff, and it just looks beautiful. Once like I would imagine the first few episodes. Did you say this was bad for attention or bad?
Bad for attention. Very good for views.
Yeah, okay. Because it's a shame, because, I mean, the first few episodes, we were so god-awful at it.
Yeah.
And then,
we got better.
Like, by the end, it just,
some of our series are like that. It's the same thing as Necrodancer. We got better, but by that point, people had switched off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why people are allowed to practice and learn the game before you record them.
I'd never even played that one at that point. Coming up next is video. This is number 5 for retention, so very good retention, but 34th for views. It's a Doctor and Boy affair, TrackMania.
TrackMania, which, again, I'm always sad that this doesn't get more appreciation. I think viewers, if you haven't watched it, go back, watch it. You will love it, probably.
Okay, I've never watched it. Try and sell it to me.
I love watching this.
Try and sell it to you.
Yeah.
Well, the concept of TrackMania is it's essentially a racing game, but you're racing on very short and progressively more difficult tracks against your opponent's ghost. So me and the Doctor are very evenly matched in most things, and TrackMania is no exception.
Yeah. This one is literally, it's the most tense thing to watch because, how it works, I guess, is that between each match, like, if you beat the other player, then they have to beat you, or else the game ends.
Mm-hmm.
And so what keeps happening is that you have to, like, keep beating each other by a smaller and smaller margin. So by the end, it's like milliseconds between the two of you, right?
Yeah.
And it's as a viewer, this has been like my favorite series to watch probably because it's just so nail biting. Like when one of you, all it takes is one of you to just like screw up by a tiny amount,
and you're done. Yeah.
And you're done. Yeah. And it's just super beautiful.
But I tell you what, I'll give it a try. We can go from there.
It's very loud. That's the only issue. There's a lot of shouting, so maybe that's your thing.
We get quite passionate about this.
See, one of my enduring memories of TrackMania, because we recorded it over like multiple sittings. We still haven't finished it yet, but that's actually just because we haven't had the time. I still very much want to, regardless of how well or badly it does. But my main memory is the last time we were recording it. Basically, my body was just, for want of a better word, falling apart.
Why was that?
I was just really ill. Like, I made like a kind of deal with the devil, I think, somehow, of my body was basically like, right, I'll hold together for the end of recording, and then I'm going to fall apart. So we finished recording, the boy left and went home, and then I was off work for the next week. With just like
collapsed.
It was like the worst like flu stuff I've ever actually had, where I just like couldn't get out of bed and stuff like that. The moment that I still remember struck me, and this was technically on recording. It didn't make it into the thing in the end, but we were mid-recording, and we just had to pause. I was like, I need to go to the toilet, and it's weird. I just suddenly really needed to piss, which is really strange to happen anyway. But then I was pissing, and while I was pissing, I sneezed, and at the same time ripped a horrendous fart, and like it was just like all of my holes were leaking, and it was just so rough.
Just a full body malfunction, yeah. It was
but
rough.
I somehow managed to keep that out of the recording. Like, I'm listening to it back now, like I seem fine and actually surprisingly well motivated, despite the fact I know I was dying.
Yeah,
some people can
you
do
held
that.
yourself together well.
Yeah, just suck it up and get on with it.
We are still working on the final series of episodes for that because there's increasing difficulties. If the boy wasn't in America, we'd have a chance to do this. Idiot.
Hey, he's allowed to have professional engagements. That sounds weird.
That does sound, yeah.
This is your profession.
I am not a rent boy. I want to clarify that.
Oh, come on, boy. You clearly could be. Literally, rent boy.
Green boy.
So,
Rent.
Anyway. Number 27. This is an interesting one. 33rd for views and 1st for retention, with an average retention across the series of 57%. Trine.
Wow.
Yay!
Oh, wow.
I really love Trine.
Yeah.
I love Trine as well, until I was replaced.
What do you mean, replaced? You bailed on us!
You were invited here, and like a
true.
week before you said, oh yeah, by the way, sorry guys, I can't make it. And I was like, wow, fuck you.
Yeah, that's true.
Because that was, Trine was for a while, until I was drafted in, was one of our most significant Doctorless series.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it when you weren't in it.
Yeah.
I was there, I was physically watching, but
Yeah.
it was quite a good game to watch. But it's interesting seeing you guys dynamic without me, really.
Yeah,
Because
it's a
we do
different
get
dynamic,
on.
you know.
But that was, it was significant as it was the first series that was completely hands-off for me. So not only was I not in it, the sprite edited all of it. So other than watching a bit of it live, the first I saw of that series was when I uploaded it to YouTube. So that was cool for me, at least.
Oh, wow. But it's such a beautiful concept for a game, I guess. Like,
it's so pretty.
It's one of those nice puzzle games where it's beautiful, and it's one of those puzzle games where you actually have to, the puzzles aren't sort of obvious. Like, you have to like work together as a team to solve the puzzles, which
Yeah.
I know it kind of sounds obvious.
Yeah.
It's done.
I think it's done
It's
well, whereas
done well.
in Portal it can be quite difficult, because I've got terrible memories. I've played Portal 2 like 8 times. I can never remember the puzzles, and it can be very tricky to figure them out
Yeah.
if you don't think that way very naturally. Whereas with Trine, I do think that none of us, except maybe the boy, is a particularly strong gamer, and as such it was more friendly
This is before
to
I came
figure
in,
out the
obviously.
puzzles.
Yeah.
I came in and just a cunt to everyone. Well, actually, no, it's the wizard, so you kind of can't be a cunt.
You kind of have to.
I seem to remember you spiking me a few times by pushing me off something using
I have
it.
no idea what you're talking
Oh,
about.
yes.
Well, I was in it and I edited it, I remember.
But my one sort of reservation with Trine is that there is a huge amount of exposition, which is extremely quiet and very hard to follow.
Yeah, people got mad about that in the comments. How we just like
Within-
talked over the plot without subtitles on, and then complained that we had no idea what the fuck was going on.
We had no idea what was going on.
I'm going to hold the game partially responsible for that.
I must admit, it was very quiet and very unnecessary.
I would say there weren't actually cutscenes. It was just you look at a static image while a man slowly tells you what's happening. Like there was, it was very slow in that way. But yeah, there's a Trine 2 and a Trine 3, which I'm tempted to do just because I just want to see if I can replicate that super high retention with super low views, because that's weird. So I want to see if that happens again. But yes, potentially on the list is the Trine sequels.
I would love
Yeah,
that.
I think
I really
that
like
would
to
be.
try.
Yeah, I'd be up for that as
How
well.
many sequels are there?
3. But the third one is 3D.
Oh, okay.
So same concept, but
Oh.
3D platforming, yeah. So
Oh.
coming
Definitely
in
agree with that.
at number 26, we're nearly getting to the halfway point now.
Mhm.
This one was a classic. I love this one. A lot of people didn't. Coming in 32 for retention and 21 for views, 3D Ultra Mini Golf Adventures. So this was an old one, after the first of our golf games.
Why are you so obsessed with golf
I love
games?
mini golf games. They're so good. They are my favourite. And this one's
I'm
fantastic.
entirely with you on this,
Yeah,
Doctor. I think the viewers disagree, but
Yeah,
I
I
love them.
know. You should just fucking stop doing golf games, but I
I think
can't.
it's the issue of playing versus watching.
Yeah, well, there's another 2 golf games on this list. For some reason, fuck knows why, Dangerous Golf isn't on this list.
Did it not
that's
qualify?
weird.
Maybe
That was
it's
so
too,
dangerous.
too shit that my Markov chain model couldn't converge
Don't
for
even have
it.
that. Wow.
But yes. No, 3D Ultra Mini Golf was good fun. That was back in the days of musical episodes as well, where we had a fantastic
Ah,
musical
yeah.
episode.
Oh.
I was promised
Yes.
musical episodes,
We should have
and it's
done one
never
of it.
happened.
It's because you don't. Right, the
That
issue
was
is,
before, yeah.
musical episodes work as a point balancing system for competitive stuff, and you hate competitive series.
That's a fair point, yeah.
So
Boo.
We could
No.
just spontaneously sing. We could just
I'm
do
okay
like
with that.
I mean,
our
we do
own
see
Glee
that sometimes
equivalent.
anyway. Yeah. There's a one of the Halo one we were talking about earlier, Halo 4. I think I left it in the end. There was one. There was absolutely no context. We're just in the lobby between games, and we just start singing. All 3 of us even just start singing "Killer Queen" at full volume. Fuck knows why. Like,
Yeah, that
there's no
sounds
discussion.
like
it
a-
just happened.
There doesn't need to be
See,
a
that's what
reason
we
for
need.
quiz.
Yeah,
it doesn't
3D
have to
Golf
be
had
like
some
that.
very good moments of like people losing their mind. My Xbox crashing partway through. It just went and just completely locked up, which was quite impressive.
Oh god. To us, my main memory of that game was just just failing to say the title. Like every single
Yeah.
time we introduced it.
Also,
it was like,
I think-
3D Ultra Mega.
I think you got better at it,
I-
Dragon, but you sucked at that game at the beginning.
Oh god. Yeah. Well, it's one of those games where, like, I think this is golf in general, in that, like, if you go off the rails, then you go like mega off the rails.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
went
yeah,
off the
very
deep
little bit of
end.
Hole in one, or you went like you get like 13 or something. It's it's ridiculous.
Coming in at number 25. This was one that was on the list forever, and is a very recent one. It's the most recent game on this list. Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Ah, yes.
Oh. I
So,
love this
as
game.
of airing, as of this video airing, I think we will have just started the second game for that now.
The second game. The first game was
okay.
Dr. Boy. The second game is Dr. Dragon, I believe.
And that will probably just be airing now.
So, as a pure spectator, I really enjoyed it, actually. It was different and interesting. How was it for you guys to play?
Fantastic. It's been on me and the boys list forever.
I absolutely love that game.
Yeah, I think some of it is we have a lot of nostalgia for this
Yeah.
game, right? Like, it's beautiful, but I think it's still like even today with like the super modern graphics and stuff, it still beats like all the
Yeah,
a lot
all
of
the
other
recent
games.
Battlefront games.
All the recent
Yeah.
Battlefront.
In that it
games,
has
like,
some offline capabilities.
It was weird. It was weird because it was small episodes. They were usually only like 10 minutes long, if that. And I was curious to see how it performed because of that. And it performed strangely. 31 for views, so not great for views, but 12 out of 43 for retention. So very good for retention for small episodes. So it could be that small episodes help.
good.
Yeah.
But as a complete layman, though, why did you pick the ones you did? Because I know you had a very strict, like,
What,
set
the
of
levels?
the levels you were going to
because
do
they were
and
the
how
good
you were going to
ones.
set them up.
Me and the boy picked the good ones, and then when I was doing it with the dragon, we picked the ones we didn't do with the boy.
We did like all the off ones, like
Yeah, that's the thing.
Polis Massa, everyone's favourite.
There's a lot of really shit, like, close quarters maps in that are just awful.
Yeah. We discovered this very quickly, didn't we?
Yeah. But no, there's some great moments in it. Like, there's definitely one where it's you and me, boy, on Mustafar, and we're just like talking, and you're playing as Obi-Wan, but I don't know this yet because I couldn't see your screen, and I'm just in the middle of a sentence, and then you just come around the corner, and I just scream, "Ewan McGregor!" at the top of my voice. It's quite funny.
Quite so I didn't say, hello there.
I love.
You did several times.
I love the rolling around as droidicus.
Oh
yeah,
god,
dodging
yeah, the
me.
fucking droidica pinball on Camino. The Camino episode of that is one of the funniest things I think we've ever filmed. It's just, I watched it back and it's just like 15 minutes of just complete hilarity, and I just obviously, it's so good.
Yeah, I love it. I just love that whole series. It was all funny. It was all good fun. You should watch it, viewers. You should watch it.
Awful setup, but worth it in the end.
It paid off.
Yeah,
And
that was sneaky as knobs.
Yeah.
You wanted a weekend recording with the boy, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll hang out by myself, that's fine. And then you were like, no, you should come down, actually, we'll find a project for you. Also, bring your computer, I'm going to need it.
We did do a project with you. That's when we filmed the rest. We filmed the rest of Trine then, definitely. And I think we did someone else. We did number 12 on this list then.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, we did.
Tune in, viewers.
And we did Aladdin, which is not on this
yeah.
list yet because that only started airing about a week ago as of recording this. And this is recording about 2 months before I'm going to air it.
Fair. So, yes, I will accept that it was worth me being invited just for my computer because you did do Aladdin for me.
Eh. Coming in number 24 was another one. Oh, so this is a really weirdly balanced one. 24th overall because it came 25th in retention and 25th in views. So pretty much halfway. This was another Sprite Doctor, what I call a Let's Watch one. I played the game while the Sprite leered over me.
Peggle.
When you put it like
This
that.
caress was Peggle.
I like leering over people.
That was a fun game. Especially because that could really... After a while, I got quite good at the game and it was just... You could just... the game was completely irrelevant. Some episodes, I think we'd go like 20 minutes without actually referencing the game at all. We'd just be talking shit. It's great.
It's just podcasting.
It was a
Great.
good dynamic.
My dad liked that series.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I do.
I mean, to be fair, your dad is Theoden, so.
I'm still working on getting my dad up for here for a recording. He's very much up for it.
Oh, he'd be so
Oh my god, what's the plan for him to record?
A game we used to play when we were kids, and he was not a kid. It was the game he bought for himself, and me and my brother both loved it, and he'd play it with us a shit ton. So
Oh, I think
I'm very
it's
excited
a must
about that.
do at some point.
Exciting.
it should
Can
be
we
good.
get viewer encouragement for Theoden to come and play?
Right, okay, yes.
The Doctor's
this
favourite
needs
game.
to at least be made clear as the fact that, yes, my dad looks like Theoden from Lord of the Rings.
Looks like.
Yeah,
You told me he
probably.
was Theoden.
It is, yeah.
I thought he was. I've been calling him Theoden all this time.
Yeah.
That's just
Anyway.
embarrassing.
Number 23. Interestingly balanced here. 6th for retention, but 29th for views is our most recent outing into the world of golf once more. This was Infinite Mini Golf.
Is this the one I'm in?
Yes, with
'Cause
silly
I
shapes.
actually really liked it with the
Silly.
Halloween
Yeah.
lounge.
Yeah, Lord Pumpkin's tricks.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Lord
You,
Pumpkin.
you
fucked
played
me.
me like a fiddle. You knew if you wanted the sprite to enjoy it,
Spooky golf.
start with spooky, and
Yes.
then she's invested.
Well, that's actually done fairly well, and we've got a shit ton more of it to record, so I think we could definitely do that.
Yeah,
It added a really interesting dimension, I thought, the dumb shapes.
The shapes are good fun, yeah.
it was kind of
It
vexing.
was all. always never quite know what's going on.
When you just get egg and you're just like, oh god damn it.
Yeah.
Then we had that
It
brief
leveled the playing
phase.
field a bit, certainly.
Yeah, and then we had that brief phase where we included the jump feature, which went horribly wrong.
God.
Oh, I loved the
We
jumping.
just broke that game.
Yeah.
I loved the
That was
jumping.
so-
You love it because it was easy.
Yeah.
But it was not
You
easy.
just bounce up and down and slowly jab your way towards the
It was a
goal.
gamble.
Oh, yeah, that's-
I liked it because it added an extra layer of gambling, especially if you had a weird shape. So if you were fucked on your shape, you had a
Yeah.
chance to redeem yourself or just go up in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
I liked that.
But
I was
now,
outvoted.
I'd be up for doing more of that, and it seems to do well enough, so that's on the list for when we next have a session.
Another one I've not been watching, so...
You edited it!
Exactly, hence why I've not been watching it.
Oh, fair, good point.